Pikachu, you're not cooperating with me today. Let's do this. Whether you like it or not, this is the last episode of the series of interviews I've done with my Fudan peers during the summer of 2022. And to cap it off, we have Gordon, who at the time just graduated from the English program at Fudan University and was about to start his MPhil degree in linguistics, philology, and phonetics at Oxford University. You might know Gordon as one of the nicest Fudan seniors I know, but on top of that, he graduated from Fudan as the English major with the highest GPA in his class, was the Fudan Public Speaking Society's president, and competed in the Intercultural Competence Contest. In this chat, he shared the highs and lows of his university life, some tips for juniors like me and some of you out there, and his outlook on his future. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this chat between Gordon and me.
Background, I see that. None.
对，其实我觉得没什么问题吧，就是
我没有什么问题，应该是可以见人的。
对对，
就是我的卧室。
你的卧室没什么问题，我觉得。
对，我没有什么问题，没有什么见不得人的。
对，很文青的。
什么文青啊？人家文青是就somebody like a bookstore. No, I just only have a bed and I need sleep. By the way, 我可以跟你炫一下我的广东话。我最近多学了一句，你真係一個靚仔啊，好像是嗎？
怎樣？
你真係一個靚仔啊，是這麼說嗎？
差不多。你真係一個靚仔，就是你真是一個，
真係一個靚仔，就是帥哥是嗎？
你真是一個帥哥
啊，對，然後就搞笑了。上一次我去一家就是非常 Hong Kong style 的一个 restaurant 去吃饭，然后呢，就是他的那个 service person， 他正好是一个，他正好我听出他是广东的，还是就是，但是他说的是广东话，然后呢，他上错了一个菜，第一个他说我看错，好，就是我看错了，好像是这个意思吧，然后他后来又上了一个，他后来又就是上对了那个叉烧，然后我就说他说这下对了怎么说？
就是啱咯，我们对是啱唔啱，对不对？啱。
我没听到这个词，我大概也能理解他大概说的是这下对了，然后我就跟他说海啊，然后他就跟我说你係香港人還是你係廣東人啊？我說我唔係，超級尷尬，就是可见我也是有肉眼可见的进步的，虽然呢我只能会说那一句，然后就可以了，就是大概装一个就是会说广东话的人，就是
挺厉害的，
很满意。
你看剧还是什么吗？
没有，就是也没有看剧啊，就是听广东歌啊那些，包括主要是上一次就是我跟你外婆，然后就是有那个 video chat 嘛，然后我就受刺激了，然后我就说，哎，我为什么一个怎么好像听歌还能够听得懂两句话的，怎么一到说话了就怎么一个字都听不懂了，我就受刺激了，我就拼命去听，我就像人家小学生读 A B C D F E 一个一个字开始学。然后就然后果然到了就真实的 communication situation 的时候就是全部暴露了，实际上还是不行。
你有没有学外语？就是除了英语以外，你们要学的吧？
对，就是 I learned German as a second language。对，
你是德语，因为我德语放弃了嘛，是。
所以我看到过你之前的视频，我还挺跟你挺有共鸣的，就是好像是你在有哪一期视频，还是你当面跟我讲过？
视频绝对有讲
对吧？我记得有，然后就是 my Deutsch is not sehr gut, it's nicht sehr gut， 是 it's not 出来了，真的完蛋了。
就是进来有一个老师叫我就是把一份旧的作业发给他什么。但我才看了一下我当时的德语，就是那是德语1，然后我都开始就是 grammar 应该完全不行，我现在没可能追回来的，就可能如果就是勉强看一下，应该还行，但 grammar it's like no way。
太烦，我觉得德语就是搞脑子，就是相对而言好像还就是，但是你不碰就是忘记了，就是你不碰就。比如说我大概半年没有碰，就已经完全忘记 list 变成 not 了。
我看了一下那个 几分钟前才看那个什么 philology, like
Oh my
your
god.
degree name.
No. Don't attempt that in the first place.
No, I'm not gonna attempt that. I don't even know what it means.
Yes, my supervisor, she asked me last time, like, you're doing a philology degree. You're doing a degree in philology. How did you come up with that idea? I said, no, I'm not doing philology. I don't want to even attempt that because this is just so difficult. I would just do some stuff in general linguistics. I said, okay, wow, you might survive that. But for philology, no, I don't think you can ever survive that in the first place. 就是可见那个真的是他，因为他其实 philology 他在 in the British system, in the UK system, they name it otherwise as comparative or historical linguistics.
Okay.
So it's so closely related to that long intellectual history, which normal students like us will not have an easy approach to that. So we're just doing some more basic and more general stuff about general linguistics. 就是这可能是我对于没事，我可能已经回答到半个问题了。Let's save it for later.
可以，不一定要就是顺序吧。
OK，
也可以。Shall we go like straight into like that master's degree question thing?
It's let's just have a just chat for a while. I don't think that it's like to be that strict as a like a strict interview.
Not really. It's gonna be like a chat, but like speaking of like that master's degree thing, because to this day I still don't exactly know what's the difference between the different master types of master degrees.
Types of master.
You got MPhil and other stuff, right? So MPhil is
it stands for Master of Philosophy. So it's not like a strict degree in philosophy, but it's just a type of degree which largely it symbolizes that you're going to do like your own research. It's not purely a taught degree. So you have to carry out your own research as well as write your own dissertation. So that very much symbolizes the difference between an MPhil degree with an MA degree. Like for MA, you basically don't need a lot of MA degrees would not require a dissertation. It only require like a lot of courses in different modules. Upon the completion of that modules, and then you're okay. You have that degree. But for MPhil, you must submit your dissertation. So that's the main difference.
Research and no research.
Yeah.
So philology, actually, you talked about how. So it's actually the title, I guess. You don't exactly need to do those three specific things, like linguistics, philology, and phonetics. It's more
we don't have to do all of them. So my full degree title would be MPhil in linguistics, philology, and phonetics. But that three parts, there are three different strands in that degree. And for students like us, we only choose one of them. So for me, I will most likely choose general linguistics instead of philology or phonetics.
Right. Well, anyways, why did I miss this? How come I can miss this? But like, congrats first, I guess.
Oh my God.
For making the degree.
Thank you.
So hard, because this morning I was watching one of those study tubers on Bilibili.
Oh my God.
From Tsinghua. Like I told you before, the Malaysian student in Tsinghua, and then he said he was going to do a collab with like this like another study tuber from Cambridge who's a Chinese student.
Yeah. And
has over like a million followers on Bilibili.
Wow.
So like this morning I was filled with all that like studying, like grinding mentality and everything. So I kind of felt like then I realized, well, then you're going to Oxford. You're gonna be with those
my
people, and then you might become one of them, even if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think that I think that these bloggers, they are really great in that they can balance about studying as well as having time to record this video and to post it online. Like they have the energy and enthusiasm to share their life experience with all those who are watching the videos. I think that they're doing such a great job in balancing between studying and life. But I think that for me, I have personally spent a lot of time doing my own studying, and I think that it's really a miracle how they manage that in the first place. So
just studying, you mean?
Yeah, I would spend much of time because it's just so energy consuming and time consuming, so that I personally won't leave a lot of time for a lot of entertainment and other kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, talking about like, well, like only studying is like time consuming enough, which is why, like, for me, I'll never move on to like, for me going forward or whatever, it's just like more like documenting my life. And if nobody watches it, it's like when I'm free, I'll post. It's not like a, you know, an essential part of my life, but I will want to document it.
Yeah, I think that's really highly commendable. And I think that for research life, it's much like, I mean, research life is just a kind of way of living through your life, and it's kind of mold because you have to know a lot before you have to have a lot of input before you can really output your original stuff and research. So I think that it's just a way of continuing my study life instead of just dividing my study life with my like career path. So I think that I do have that kind of courage to try to continue with that already somehow established trajectory. So that's my thoughts about studying.
Right. It's gonna be 1 year.
My degree, my MPhil degree.
MPhil.
That will be 2 years.
2 years.
It will be 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. I guess at least better than the 3 in the mainland.
Probably.
Yeah. But so I guess after the 2, so it's gonna be like 2 years of research. Do you have to do any courses at all?
Yes. Yes. It's somehow a combined degree that combines both the taught courses as well as your own research output. So that's kind of untraditional in the UK system, because usually the MPhil degree will only be a research degree. But for my degree, I think that is highly suitable for me because I want both some more now foundational knowledge taught by the professional staff, as well as the opportunity for me to output my own research.
Right. You think you're gonna like embark on that academic?
Just have a try. So that's my philosophy, because I'm still young. I'm only 22. I still have the time, at least as far as I'm concerned, to try to attempt something that is more challenging than rather than staying in my comfort zone, like staying in Shanghai, doing a master degree at a university in China. So perhaps I want to attempt something more challenging.
It's challenging in different ways, I suppose, because it could be challenging if you just finish your undergrad and you come out to find a job. That is challenging in its own way, and it's also challenging to embark on that academic road. It's not easy, I guess.
Yes, of course, they are really challenging different in different terms, I should say. And also just I could use my own example as an illustration, because at the start of my application, like turning back to this time last year, right. I was really wondering about whether I should apply to a master degree in philosophy or a degree in linguistics, because I really love to try to know more about philosophy and to delve into some questions that are more fundamental about my way of being. But at the end of the day, I think it's actually during my application process that I find myself that I'm not that well equipped with all this knowledge that are suitable for a philosophy degree. So then, but at the same time, I find myself more equipped in linguistics. So at the end of the day, when I finally had my offers, I would still choose to have a degree in linguistics, so that I could have a more solid foundation, and then there might be other opportunities for me to explore other fields and disciplines.
Does the prospect of talking about academic, we see these people studying into their 30s and
oh my God.
and yeah, does that sort of scare you a bit? Because that scares me quite a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I personally don't exactly want to do that. But
yes, I think very good. I think that's a very big concern about. I should say that the scaring part of academics, especially for me, if I were doing a degree overseas, is the most scaring part. I should say would be just to be apart from my family, just to stay away from them for, I should say, 2 years. That would still be quite a lot of time. So I think that if I were doing, I just recall your video and your words before you're embarking on your journey to Fudan. You said that that would be an attempt for me to work out of my own comfort zone. I just quote your words, but I think that it will be enriching if it would be enriching for yourself if you could have this opportunity, and your family would definitely support you if you indeed have that enrichment. So that would also be my logic of studying abroad. So my family, they really want me to go out and have more challenging experience, and to see more and know more, and to expand my horizons. So they would definitely expect such kind of enrichment. So I think that they would definitely see it as part of the spending at the cost of my being separated apart from them.
Making this decision would mean you all somehow agree to a certain extent it's worth it, right? Otherwise you would not do it. But so I guess how do you, well, I guess you can't exactly overcome this, but I suppose in that application process you just talked about, what are the parts of application? Like, do you have to maybe submit your own research idea?
Yes, of course. So I'd like to use my application to Oxford as an example, perhaps. I should say for my application, it basically comprises of a number of essences. They would be like your own CV first, and second your academic references, that is your referee letter, and thirdly your personal statements, and fourthly
your writing sample. I should say for all the 4 elements, the most challenging one would be my writing sample, because that very much symbolizes how academically prepared you are. So in your writing sample, you should usually demonstrate your best work to the examiners. So that would be challenging in a number of ways. First, you have to find out your best work in the first place. And then secondly, you also need to match your own research interest into that of the academic stuff at Oxford. So that would be the second challenge. And thirdly, you have to revise them. You have to revise your writing sample, because it will usually have a word limit, like 2,000 words or so. Okay. So usually your writing sample will not be that precise as 2,000 words. So you have to either cut it short or expand it into the word limits that the university imposes.
The writing samples are works from your previous years in Fudan.
Yeah.
In courses, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Or I suppose if maybe like with someone like, I don't know, say in summertime, write their draft papers out of their own interests. Would somebody do that as well, I guess, and then submit that? Like it's not their coursework.
I'm not sure if I understand that. If I understand your question, you mean that they would prepare it very early, like during the summer?
Sort of, like it's not their coursework. Like they do a paper, a research.
Oh my God!
Sort of didn't you do sort of like that?
Yes, I somehow for me myself, I just developed my own research, my research project into that writing sample. So I think that there are a number of approaches to that writing sample. The first, of course, as you mentioned, would be to expand your previous assignments, your previous papers into that. That would be more easy, because usually your assignment won't be that long and that broad and general in terms. So you could have a narrow focus and develop into that short writing sample. And the second approach is just as what I did in my writing sample. I used my own research project as a foundation. So my research project is basically, I should say, it's really general and very big. So I have to figure out what specific part I want to elaborate. So in the end, I just choose one of the two research questions and then expand it into the writing sample. So I think that my general suggestion for writing sample is that you have a very clear focus. Usually that would be equivalent to only one research question, and then you expand it into a full paper, so that you can demonstrate your comprehensive understanding about how to write and your understanding of the topic in a more general sense.
You think, how early should people start doing this? Like you started doing this, this time last year.
Yeah.
How early should people start, I guess, considering even this?
Yes, that's a great question. So for early, I think that there's not a very strict limit, but we might consider it from the perspective of your application process, because usually you would submit your application as well as all the supporting documents in like November or December. So that would mean that if we turn back, you have to leave at least 1 or 2 months to revise your previous work. So that would mean that you'd better start preparing in summer. At least you should try to come up with an idea about how it would develop, which topic you want to focus, which paper you want to revise. So that would be my general suggestion for those who are considering application. So for me myself, I would say that I do a little bit regret that I could have started earlier because I haven't, I just said that I haven't decided whether to apply to philosophy department or the linguistics department this time last year. So like turning back to August 2021, I haven't decided which paper I want to revise. And then starting from September, I just suddenly found out that, wow, I would immediately stop applying. So that was a very much a shock to me at that time. So because I found that I do not have that large amount of time for the preparation. So do start early if you're doing academics, if you're considering applying.
Talking about starting early, you started pretty early on from, I guess, is it like a mental switch, I guess?
Mental switch.
Like a switch in the mind that got you to sort of start grinding, not that you weren't grinding before. Like in year one, you telling me that, that amazing story of yours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, right? Because, yes, for this question, I think that that would be, so for me, that's a struggling in year one because I just found my peers, they're so excellent. One thing that might be exemplifying might be my study in Chinese literature. I just told you in our first meeting that literature is just out of my book. And then starting from year one, the first course I attend is Chinese literature, especially classical literature. I said, wow, I just understand absolutely nothing about that. But all my peers, all the students that are around me, they're so excellent. They have so much to say about literature. And that was pretty much a shock to me at that time because I just found myself so inadequate and so I could have done better in reading literature. So it's that kind of motivation, the comparison, the contrast between me, how incapable I am, and how capable my peers are, that motivates me to just do as hard as I can, to work as hard as I can, to work into the midnight, and just trying to catch up. So I would say that motivation would be all in pushing me forward. At least during year one.
It's Chinese literature, not
and also English literature. We have to study both Chinese literature and English literature as part of our general education.
Okay, it's general education.
Yes. So perhaps I was so that overconfident about myself, about English literature at that time. So I think that I would spend more time in Chinese literature and less time in English literature. And at the end of the day, I found myself so incapable in both fields. So that was shocking to me at the end of year one. So at the beginning of year two, I turned to linguistics and just trying to have a more solid foundation in an established field.
But attitude-wise, I think many people could learn from you. I mean, in terms of, sitting in the front row you were talking about, like, I guess sitting in the front row, but then even though, the students who get the top grades are at the back, like you later discovered, right? But then I guess you still sort of put yourself, at least,
put yourself out there. I just quote your words. I really like your words about you have to put yourself out there. Even at that time, I don't think myself as like able to talk much about literature, but I think that putting yourself in the first role, you're gonna have more opportunity to express yourself in the seminars and to have more opportunities to communicate with professors. And so it is these opportunities that expose you to a more communicative environment, so that you're gonna have more opportunities to speak out what you think in classrooms, in discussions, as well as in any other situations that might be more that may bring benefits to you.
And that's why when did you join like Tri-F exactly?
Tri-F. I joined Tri-F in year one.
In year
one. Yes. Pretty much because I found myself not that good at public speaking during my like high school, and so it's that kind of it's also about how you think of yourself insufficient or inadequate that motivates you to expand your comfort zone. So I think that it would be perfectly fine if I just sit at the back of the classroom and talk nothing in the whole discussions. It's perfectly fine, but it does not. It's more comfortable, but it might be comfortable, but it's not beneficial to you. So it's that motivation to know more that pushes me to join Tri-F and to practice my public speaking skills, to practice my oral English, to know more friends that leads me to Tri-F. And it does bring some unexpected benefits, like knowing a lot of great guys in both public speaking as well as debating, and to know some very dear to know a lot of dear friends that are still dear to me at this moment. Yep.
And you joined, I guess, as like more of a member role in your first year, and then you progressed, and then eventually, I don't know if it's maybe it's in your third year that you were the like public speaking society. I don't know if it's called that.
Yeah, it's in my second year. I got promoted. I got promoted. Yes, so it is the society leader that asked me if I wanted to shoulder more responsibility to hold a lot of organization events at that time. And I think that it's surely an opportunity for me to expand more of my comfort zone. So I took up this challenge, and it does work. I just did so many things I couldn't have imagined myself doing back in year one, like organizing public speaking events, like Toastmasters evening, as well as English Talented Cup, featuring for university students, as well as the FLTRP Cup at Fudan. I think that it is through this organization and practicing that molds me a better skills, as well as helps develop my courage in speaking out and communicating with others.
In high school, have you joined any like similar sort of I guess oral English style activities?
No, I didn't. Right. Yes, so I was just so shy at that moment. Right. So I think that my oral English is so bad, it's not adequate enough for me to stand out and debate with others. But stepping into university, I think that nobody ever recognized me. So I just got the courage to speak out. So I joined Tri-F.
Right. It's in your second year, because I guess we could like talk about this. You're the second highest like GPA student in your year, right? Yeah. So in your second year, I guess, I don't know when you got to that ranking in terms of like academic wise, and then you also like shouldered more responsibility, like taking on a more leading role in societies. How exactly do you balance your time, or is there no balance? Because you talk about staying in like the third academic building, like 三教. till the crack of dawn, like
Yeah.
a lot of nights.
I think that in my second year, that would be the most challenging time throughout my 4 years, throughout my 4-year undergrad, because I got so many things to do at that time, like doing 17 credits for my academics, as well as participating in public speaking events, as well as organizing those competitions. So that would be the most challenging time. There's really not that balanced. I just stay up every night, stay up late in teaching building number 3, 三教, as well as other like 全家 Family Mart, as well as 上岛 Cafe, and all those places where I could stay up late.
Night owl habitats, right?
Yeah. My favorite at that time was just coffee and nothing else. It's only coffee that could stay me awake for until 2 o'clock in the evening, and then go on just studying, finishing my assignment. But after that period, I should say I could find a better balance between between study and life, because at the end of year 2, I find myself not that healthy, not that able to, my body just doesn't support me as it did 1 year ago. So I have to strike a better balance between work and life. So that's my learning throughout my year 2, that body and your health really matters a lot. It supports you in any opportunities. It is a prerequisite for studying in the first place.
Did you organizing wise? Because I know you joined the that cross culture competition, whatever thing it's called. So that is this is where you actually competed. You're in yourself. I mean,
yes.
Were there,
So that the full name of that competition is intercultural competition for intercultural competition competence for university students in Shanghai and in China and in other areas of China. So that is basically teamwork where three students at Fudan we will have a team, and to stand on the platform to compete. So that competition would then be divided into three sections, where in the first section we will present our case study and an analysis of a case where intercultural conflict and cooperation occurs. So that would be the first part, and in the second part, that will be a more impromptu analysis where you were presented a intercultural conflict, and you should analyze them within 15 minutes prep time. And then in the third part, after showing your impromptu case study, you will have a public speaking. You will have a public speech about a topic. So basically, that 3 parts: the prepared part, the impromptu part, as well as the impromptu speech, would be the main core of that competition.
And did you join other? Because I saw photos of you. Is that in debating or public speaking?
In public speaking, I should say in public speaking. I also joined the public speaking, the recitation competition in year 3. Right. At that time, I think that I would be more confident in speaking individually. So I just decided to join that competition.
Did you regret then, in year 2, all that? I guess is that that sort of, can I call it damage that you've done to your body? Like, did you, I guess, did you have like any regrets at all? It's like you graduated from your undergrad. Like,
yeah, I think that throughout my undergrad, I think that there are definitely regrets. I mean, by regret, I would specifically mean there are a lot of things that I have not done or I have not had. So these have nots might include that I didn't have that so much courage to attempt more. Like in the first case, I was not that courageous to speak up more to my professors, to my peers, especially in year one. Even though I was sitting in the first row, I was not that confident to speak out more about literature stuff during the classes. So that would be the very first instance of something I do regret a lot about, because otherwise I maybe even attempt literature as my postgrad. And also secondly, as an illustration, I do regret that I was not that courageous to participate in more public speaking competitions. So it may be after my competition year 3, I think that it is through this competition process that you could also learn a lot through that. For instance, you learn how to control your flow during your speech, as well as how to keep a very stable output throughout your speech. So it is all these things that are learned through your competition process that matters. So I do regret that I haven't attempted that many competitions in my undergrad. But at this point, I should say I do mention a lot of have-nots I have not attempted, but I think that I do have there are a lot of haves I have also done in my undergrad, like working out of my comfort zone to attend public speaking society, as well as to talk with professors about literature. So these haves and have-nots, they together would be together mold me who I am right now. So I think that there are definitely regrets, but there are also definitely gains in my 4-year undergrad.
I mean, some things you just can't control, like COVID, for instance, was not, I guess, a very happy ending for like students who graduate this year.
Yes, it does impose a lot of restrictions on us. Like I would not be able to meet you in the first place. Like otherwise we could have a very like a photo shot at the end of my graduation, but we didn't have that. So that would surely be a regret.
I suppose though, like you could maybe work on eliminating or like preventing similar regrets at Oxford. Like, I don't know, Oxford,
Hopefully.
I suppose like
Hopefully.
there'd be tons of like these activities.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd have time for them as a postgrad, your schedule.
Perhaps I would still attempt that in the first place. Like there are so many things I would like to try, like debating, debating at Oxford Union.
Yeah.
Is that a dream? And also like you got a lot of extracurricular activities there. I do hope that I could have time as well as that energy and also that fortune to participate in those activities.
You think it'd be like, can you foresee some like challenges?
Foresee challenges.
Yeah, do you expect any? Yeah.
I think that challenges, first, I mean, by challenge, I should mean that they entail a lot of difficulties, including like you're a postgraduate student. You don't have that a lot of time for extracurricular activities. Like you would according to the academic staff, they say that my degree course, they are really intense. So that would basically be that your 6-week semester, you will have like 2 or 3 courses. Like you won't have that much time for extracurricular activities. And also secondly, you will be participating in a very different environment. Like like for Oxford Union, they are a really prestigious student society in debating. Like they're quite not different. They're all those peers, they're really excellent debaters and public speakers in this field. So having them will definitely be a sort of pressure, but also a motivation for you to move forward. So it would be I should suppose a big challenge for me to work with them, but also simultaneously that would be enriching.
You think you'd have like, studying all these cross-cultural theories, you'd think you'd have culture shock over there in terms of mainly, for instance, is it like going to be more challenging in a way? Maybe you could tell me like after you come back, like after you stay there for a while, but like their work hard, play hard mentality. I don't know if that's a different beast in itself than like, in mainland China. It's probably be more so working hard and less so playing hard, but then they do both over there.
Yes,
the West.
Yes. So first, theories are definitely distinct from practices. So I do expect their practices will be a lot different from mine back in Shanghai. Like just as you mentioned, their work hard and play hard mentality. I somehow find it hard to accept that, because I find that like play hard is also really different. Like you're chatting and like you're having a beer in a bar and just talking. That would also be challenging for me, I suppose. So but I would definitely try that. Otherwise that would be a regret for me in my postgrad. So I think that attempting that kind of, trying to practice that kind of mentality would also be kind of experience that I would expect at Oxford.
Is there any advice then, would you, now that you've passed this stage of your life, I guess, undergrad, do you have any advice for, I guess, these fresh batch of freshmen in September? Though I don't know when this video is going to probably come out in November, I think.
Oh my God. But they'll definitely see that. Yeah. So for freshmen, I should use my own example. Back in my first year, I really struggled. That was really a struggle because I haven't adjusted myself to like university life, because I found so many times that that can be at my own discretion. So apart from the lecture time and all the rest of the time, I could use it at my own discretion. So at that time, I'm not sure how I should distribute that time, either to playing, or to studying. So it's that kind of puzzlement that would be most challenging for me in year one. I should say that for freshmen, so I think that you could have one focus at a time. that would be my general suggestion. For instance, if for those who do find passion with academics, maybe you should just contribute yourself to one problem in your established field, like in linguistics or in literature. You just have one research question at a time and then try to answer that question. So you have a very clear focus, and then you know how, after establishing that one focus, and you know how to expand it into other fields. And also, this logic also applies to those who want to work in the future. Like in year one, you might attempt an intern in summer, or you could do some online teaching. There are so many opportunities at this time. So after you have attempted one thing, you tried one thing, and then you know how you would respond. Either you like it or you dislike that, or you could. And after this, you could attempt more challenging events. So that would be my suggestion. One thing at a time. In year one, you should just do not try to attend so many activities in that single year. Just have one clear focus and then develop that.
You think it's especially in, I guess, well, in Fudan, like, or in other top universities, even in Oxford, you have any, or you think, do you think you have stayed sane for the past few years?
Stayed sane?
Yeah, like it's like, how do you, yeah, I guess that hardworking while staying sane.
Oh, well, there are definitely cases I'm not staying sane. Like when you have like five assignments due at a time, a single night, you won't be that sane in the first place. But I think that I do suggest that everybody could work early. Like you should not leave your assignments till the last due date. And it's just from my own experience, that is horrible. Like staying up all nights at Sanjiao, that is just terrifying and horrible. So don't try to leave everything. Don't procrastinate. Don't leave everything till the last moment, and then you're gonna stay sane that way.
Start early. Yes. I suppose that's more or less it in terms of the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything do you want to plug anything, like anywhere people can follow you online or that sort of thing? If not.
Yes, for the first question, maybe we should expecting my research paper, although it's still currently under preparation. Maybe I do hope that we could get it submitted and published in the future. So that may be one thing of expectation. But for the second question, for anyone who wants to ask me questions, follow Michael, and then you'll find me. Subscribe to this channel.
True. Yeah. I'll direct questions to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a loss for Fudan to have such an amazing senior to lead the school. Yeah. It's a loss for all you juniors or anyone who's younger than we are watching this. You just lost an amazing senior. Yeah, unless he decides to come back and share maybe a bit.
Yes, I will be available if there are further questions, and also if they would like to ask me like for suggestions or advices, I would definitely be happy to help.
Yeah, I just feel fortunate, and it's just really a loss for Fudan. I'll say that for sure. A lot of juniors could use a lot of guidance from you. But yeah, thanks for everything, and I guess that's it.
Thank you. Okay.
All good, I think.
好的。 哇，recording 还是跟就是因为这是我第一次的 recording， 也I was so privileged to participating in your interview. Like just as I wrote in my acknowledgement in my undergrad dissertation, it was really honored
it's sort of hard at the end. I feel like some things, I guess it's like not for off camera, it's just I mean, you know how I feel about you, right? It's I don't need to say that.
Somehow like, different. Like I was just expecting like we could sit on like Guangcao or just that stone chair we're discussing back to our last meeting at Fudan. That would be like that off campus would be more like that would be quite different chats like that is different. That's simply different from online chat.
Talking about awkward silences, awkward starts are even worse.
对，我也是想了很久，叫什么？我们到底该怎么开场？然后后来我想起了广东话，我可以向你来学习一下。That's a perfect opening.
对，除了杨康启那个，我是想了很久那个。我想了很多个月的那个开场，
真的吗？
对，每一天晚上睡觉的时候都在想，都不知道 prep 了多少次。我就是 when I'm drifting off and I'm not working， 我就是在想，我想。
I should open this conversation with her.
Yeah， 就是然后还有就是跟他见面的时候，我想就是怎样，但结果我没拍嘛，就是跟他见面的唯一一次，我都是
你跟他只见过一次。
唯一一次，就是等于也是跟你见过啊，但我跟你可能
我们见过
上课，
对，
还见过多几次，
对。
但如果就是吃饭还是聊天那样，还是那一次主要是
对，那
其他都是在上课，
对。
然后跟他就是真的所以也是technically it's just once，
是吗
？Like really 聊天的话，对吗？我们也是吧，就上课的时候你没什么机会，
对。就是我们也就那一次吃饭，但是我记得我第一次见你的就是在那节课上，就是我突然听见有一个人how much 就是 I hate literature. No, I should say hate. I'm not a literary person just as you are. 就是然后我瞬间就是 I just light up. Oh my God, how come there would be a person that's so much like me? 就是great. I just want to talk to this person. And then I just learned that you're doing your honorary projects in phonetics. I was like, wow, that's something I would not attempt throughout my life. I said, wow, this guy is so great. I want to learn phonetics from him. So 就是因缘巧合，就是太搞笑。因为我也跟他一起熬过三教，知道吗？是去年石老师让我去看他们的那个彩排，然后我就提了个问题，然后大家晚上10点半结束，你也知道10点半那边所有教室都关掉，只有3教，然后我就跟他们一起走回去，我就跟他就正好我跟杨康琪人家都往另外一个方向走，好像他们住北区什么的，只有我跟他都是就是往一个方向走的。我跟他说你去哪里啊，康琪？他说我去三教。我说巧了，我也去三教啊。然后2个都是不要命的人就聚在一起。就是可能就是因为那次经历让我知道这个人也是个打双引号不要命的。然后呢，我觉得对，就是我觉得你的标题起的真好，就是。It perfectly fits into my word knowledge about this guy.
Hey homies, I hope you enjoyed this clip. If you did, here's a full playlist of sharings from other top-notch people I've met. Like, comment, subscribe, 一键3连, and I will see you in the next one. Alright guys, peace.